All right. So welcome everybody to our do-it-yourself body care products with essential oils class. This is a class that is very close to my heart because this is sort of what brought me into using essential oils so long ago. So we are going to start with a little bit of an agenda. So I'm just going to go over what we're going to learn tonight and then we'll dive in. So first I'm going to go through a little bit of an essential oils review. We're going to talk about what advertisers are wanting us to know and why we're kind of geared towards typical products that we buy off the shelves. We're going to talk about the ingredients that we want to avoid when we're choosing body care products, the top essential oils that you want to use for body care and in using your own and making your own products, then the ingredients that you also want to have on hand, and then we'll get into the best part, which is the recipes and all the resources. So before we really dive in, I quickly just want to share a little bit on how I got started with essential oils. So this is a picture of my almost 9-year-old. He was 7, I think, in this photo. And it started with him. So he was born and everything we used on that kid, he would just break out. If somebody was holding him who had used lotion or who had sprayed perfume on themselves, he'd break out in a rash. Anything that touched his skin would break, he'd just break out. So I decided that I needed to be a more natural mama. And at the time I was using Johnson & Johnson baby care products, which was all natural, as they say. And this is something that's from their websites. This is what I was told as a new mother. For more than 100 years, new mothers have trusted Johnson's products to provide the purest, gentlest, and mildest care for their babies. So, of course, this is what we're sort of told by advertisers, right? And this is what we believe to be true because this is all we really see. And so I didn't know at first what to do, but did a ton of research and went totally natural and started making all our own products. And I did use essential oils to start to help scent them a little bit as my little guy was not reacting to those, which was awesome. And so that sort of got what led me into using essential oils and why I love this class so much, because this is like just one of my passions. So let's quickly go over a little bit about essential oils themselves. I know most of you guys who are on here have your oils already, so I'll just make this one quick. So the most important part in choosing an essential oil is its potency and its purity. If we do not have a pure and potent oil, then it's just not going to give us the benefits. Now, it's one thing to scent something just for the aroma of it, but if you're looking for any medicinal benefits, such as using them for facial cream, if we want to help with skin imperfections, if we have a lot of breakouts and we're looking for body care products to support that, something for deodorant, we need essential oils that are potent. If they are not potent, then they're just not going to have the benefits that we are requiring for our body care products. And step into doTERRA, of course, as most of you who are on here right now know, doTERRA is the most pure and potent essential oil that we can actually access on the planet. And so how do we use essential oils? So topically we can use them, which would be just applying them directly on the site. So that would be, again, like for skincare products we're talking about, we'd be using the oils topically within our skincare products. We can also use essential oils aromatically, and that would be either in a diffuser or just placing a drop on your hand and inhaling through that way, or internally. And again, we're just speaking on doTERRA for this, but our oils are safe for internal usage. They will say so on the bottle, the ones that we can take internally. And again, for medicinal uses, this is by far, I feel like, the best way to use our oils internally. Okay, so let's get into the body care products. So what do advertisers tell us about cosmetics and body care products? I thought this was fun because it really gets you thinking. If you actually sit and think about it and watch some commercials, you'll spot exactly what they're trying to make you feel and why you need to be buying their products. So let's just take a peek here. This is what I would have looked at when my oldest was first born. Johnson's Natural Gift Set. And it looks natural. They have natural colors, the pretty wood, right? So it's telling us this is safe. It's something that we're used to. It's natural, right? It has leaves on it. The tones of it, they all look like what one would be thinking would be natural, right? But then you look at the ingredients list, you guys, and it's scary when you look at those. And we're going to talk about some ingredients to avoid in just a second. I don't know if you remember this commercial, but this one was, I don't even know how many years ago, quite a while ago, but it was the herbal essence. And this girl is standing in her bathroom and she's making some inappropriate noises as she's massaging her hair. So as they say, sex sells, and this is what they are trying to accomplish in this episode of, or this commercial for herbal essences. In this picture, it is it's just more of a, oh my gosh, you don't want to be embarrassed by sweat stains. Goodness, what would we ever do if we were spotted with sweat stains? Well, guess what? Our toxins have got to be released from our body in some way. And if we are not sweating out our toxins, then they're staying within ourselves and causing harm to our bodies. We have a huge toxic overload from our environment to pesticides and herbicides on our foods, to just everyday life in our body care products, in our cleaning products. We need to cut down on toxins, and we need to be able to release our toxins. So when advertisers are trying to tell us, you don't want to be embarrassed by, sweaty arms, like that's what we are all feeling. Well, if we don't want to do that, then we must put chemicals on our body, right? So who's telling us that that's wrong? Advertisers. Advertisers are telling us that because they need to make a profit. So when we're more aware of what we're being shown on a consistent basis, we can make better choices as consumers. And I think this is the last one, but this one got me in so many ways, because this talks to a lot of teenagers. I remember this as a teenager, this proactive solutions. So the one thing Jennifer Love Hewitt says here on the left is, I feel good about myself every day. So can you. So what is she saying? She's basically telling us that we don't feel good about ourselves because we may have breakouts. And then here's in the middle here, get the clear skin you deserve. So if you don't have clear skin, then are you undeserving, or what is it that they're trying to tell us here, right? So there's a lot of different ways that they'll throw words at us to make us feel inadequate to purchase their products. So here's the truth, and what I'm going to tell you in the next couple of slides is not to cause fear or not to make you feel inadequate by any means, but I just want you to understand what all of this means. So there's thousands of chemicals in our everyday products, including our body care products that we're using every day. And here it shows as Americans, so we'll just say North Americans, they use approximately 10 personal care products every day. And every day we are exposed to more than 100 unique chemicals from those products. So these chemicals are mostly ones that have never been tested for safety, let alone tested when they're being used amongst each other. And hundreds of these same chemicals have been banned in Europe, yet we are still using them in North America, which is sort of shocking. So here just shows a little bit, sorry for the fuzziness of this one image, but this just caught me and I needed to include it. But cosmetics by the numbers. So 1938 was the last time the United States passed a cosmetics law. So that is what's being included in cosmetics. There's 1,300 ingredients in cosmetics that are banned or restricted by the European Union, yet only 11 that are actually prohibited and restricted by the FDA. So that's a shocking number. So there's all these hundreds of chemicals out there that the European Union will never put in their products due to safety, but yet are okay for us here over in North America. And all it takes is 26 seconds for chemicals to come through your skin and enter into your bloodstream. So think about that for a second. As soon as you put on a lotion, in about 26 seconds, it's absorbed. Our skin is our largest organ, and it craves, lovely things on it. If you can't eat it, this is my personal motto, is if I can't eat it, I don't want it on my skin. Now here is a list of ingredients to avoid. You guys might want to take a quick screenshot of this so that you can go and take a look at your own body care products and see what might be in it. Because a lot of these can cause so many of the issues that we are seeing today. Like there's carcinogenics in a lot of these, and there's ones that cause issues with fertility and cancer causing, things that affect the nervous system, miscarriages. It's just an insane amount of issues that can be found in our everyday products, but we don't know these things unless we've been taught or told, because this isn't just something that these big companies are going to go out and expose, right? Now you'll see a lot more that are trying to reduce the number of certain things. Like I'm sure you've heard phthalates. That's one big one that is found in more natural products, it'll say contains no phthalates for that reason, but not natural, they don't even need to be listed on labels, some of these ingredients. And that's another scary thing, right? When they don't have to be labeled because there's no governing body to say you must label like XYZ. They may not even be on a label. And so again, when we come to making our own, that's the only way we know what's in our products, right? Okay, I'm gonna move on from this one. I don't like this fear stuff. Okay, let's talk about the ingredients that we can use. So first we're gonna talk about the oils, the essential oils, and then we're gonna go into some of the other ingredients that you would use. So peppermint. Peppermint is a huge favorite of mine. I actually have a smoothie right next to me right now that has a drop of peppermint in it. It is so great for so many uses, but when it comes to the actual skin, I love the scent. So I love peppermint's aroma. It's uplifting and it's energizing. So adding it into something like a whipped lotion, which is one of my favorites, and you'll see that down on the blog at the bottom. I'm making your own whipped peppermint foot lotion. All I use are just 3 ingredients. So I use shea butter, coconut oil, and olive oil. So they have a few other ingredients in this one. But what I do is I just use 1 part of each. So let's say a 1/3 cup of shea butter, a 1/3 cup of coconut oil, and a 1/3 cup of olive oil. And then I melt them all together in a pot. Then I pull the pot off, and you need to let it harden. And sometimes it can take a few hours. If you pop it in the freezer, it might take just an hour. And then you drop like 2 or 3 drops of peppermint in it and whip it with your beaters, like your cookie mixer beaters or muffin batter beaters. And then it's whipped and it is gorgeous. And you could totally eat it if you really wanted to, because all of those ingredients are safe for you, not that you would. But if you add cocoa butter, oh my goodness, it smells like peppermint chocolate, honestly. It's the greatest thing ever. And it's amazing for gifts too. So I know we're, at the time of this recording, we're closer to Christmas, so that's a really great gift. You can even add, I've heard of some people like crunching up little pieces of candy cane to even have as like a little decorative kind of in the lotion, which I guess you'd have to pick off if you were to use it. But anyway, so that's peppermint. The next is melaleuca, or in Canada, as we call it, tea tree oil. So tea tree oil comes from the melaleuca tree, and that is grown and harvested in Australia. So this is renowned for its cleansing and rejuvenating effects on the skin. I'm sure many of you know, blemishes and stuff, a little bit of spot treatment is really great. You can even use melaleuca for a homemade makeup brush cleanser. And again, that's on the doTERRA blog. It's not one we're talking about today, but I just wanted to throw that out there. So if you are wanting to see all these recipes from doTERRA, you could just head over to their website, doterra.com, and look for the blog, and you'll find them there. Lavender is another amazing one. So this is really helpful for any type of a skin irritation. So, if, it's summertime and the bugs are out and somebody gets you, that's a really great one to be using. It's also great for calming. So if you're using or making some type of a lotion, let's say, applying that before bedtime is really helpful. Or if you have some anxious feelings, lavender is really, really great in those kinds of products to help calm and soothe. Another really great one for deodorant too, actually, as well as the tea tree oil. They're both really great for underarm protection and to, keep things soothed and lovely. And down here from the blog, the After Sun Soothing Spray. Amazing. And it says here 8 drops of lavender, tea tree oil, and peppermint. I also add some frankincense to that also. And here we go into frankincense. So frankincense is one of the best oils that you can use on your skin. So you can add it to a moisturizer or a lotion to help reduce the appearance of blemishes, to rejuvenate your skin. I actually just use like a baby food jar size or so of coconut oil. So just solid coconut oil that we use for cooking and baking and everything else. I just put that in a little container with about 15 or 20 drops of frankincense. And that is what I use morning and night for my face cream. And that is it. It is phenomenal. It's so amazing. You can also use it to make a clay mask. So if you use 2 teaspoons of clay with 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar and 1 drop of frankincense, lavender, and melaleuca, use that as a clay mask. If you do try that recipe, just be aware that your face may feel like a bit burny, or like it'll be very red when you take the mask off, because what it's doing is it's pulling the blood to the surface in order to remove the toxins out of the blood. And so your face is red, and the first time I did this, honestly, I looked like a lobster. I thought I'd burnt myself, but it was just after doing my research, which I probably should have done beforehand, that's what I found out. So the clay, the apple cider vinegar, the oils, they all help to remove all the toxins from your skin. So it's a really amazing clay mask. So don't be shocked if that happens. Okay, On Guard is another really, really great one. It helps with immune support. It helps I love it for scenting purposes also. There's a few recipes we're gonna be talking about that use On Guard, and just the cinnamon flavor is lovely, as well as helping for cleansing. And well, just even applying it on you, aside from the scent, just helping with the boosting of your immune system is, especially around this time of year, is really helpful too. And then the last is rosemary. This one's amazing for hair, so hair care. This is one that if you massage to your scalp, it creates an abundant looking head of hair. Doing that every single day is very helpful. And you can even create a dry shampoo. So let's say you're in a rush in the morning and you can't get a shower in before you go out. You can combine a 1/4 cup of arrowroot powder with 2 drops of the lavender that we talked about already, rosemary, and then peppermint, as we mentioned. And it's just a simple dry shampoo. And all you do is you just dip a makeup brush, let's say, in it, and then you just apply it to the roots. And if you have darker hair, you can even add a little bit of cocoa powder to it to make it darker, so the arrowroot is white, and we don't want to have white looking hair if we don't already have white or blonde or light hair. So you can always add the cocoa powder to it as well. And that's just maybe about a tablespoon, I would say, you need. So here are the other ingredients that we're going to be talking about with the recipes. So shea butter is one that you're going to see quite often, and that's that top left one there. They come from the shea nut. Then there's almond oil next, which is on the top right. And then at the bottom, you'll see grapeseed oil. And then on the bottom right, you'll see coconut oil. Now, a quick thing about coconut oil, you can get it either fractionated coconut oil, which means it's much like what you see here on the screen. It's liquefied. So no matter what temperature it is, it will always remain a liquid. And this is great for roller bottles. And that would be when you'd be placing oils in a little roller bottle, and then you'd add this fractionated coconut oil to it, and that could be used for things like deodorant or a perfume. Now that's when you would need the fractionated or the liquefied coconut oil. But most other recipes just call for regular coconut oil, which is the hardened version that you can find at Costco. And if you are going to be buying coconut oil, please buy it from Costco, because it is insanely cheap compared to everywhere else. So there's your tip for the day. And here is a list of where you can buy the ingredients that we're about to talk about. So if you're looking for spray bottles or deodorant containers or lotion containers, you can check out aromatools.com, myessentialbusiness.com, which is Canadian, or oillife.com. And shea butter, Baraka Shea Butter is my absolute favorite. They are a beautiful not-for-profit company, and they actually gather all their shea butter they get from Ghana, and they bring it into Canada, and that goes to support widows who are now doing this as for their life's work. And it's beautiful. So check out their company, and it's really, really reasonably priced. You can buy organic shea butter. They're so great. So anyways, those are the places that you guys can purchase any ingredients if you can't find them locally, or if you just want to do some purchasing online. Okay, the fun part. I'm clapping my hands if you can't see, which you can't. So how to make your own. I love mason jars, by the way. Anybody else with me, like, obsessed with mason jars? I just love putting things in them, and I love this picture. Okay, so deodorant. So this is my recipe that I used to use to make deodorant. So it was a 1/4 cup of coconut oil, and that would be the solid kind. And then a 1/2 cup of arrowroot powder. You can buy that from Bulk Barn, online, or any of the places that I was just talking about. And then a 1/4 cup of baking soda. And make sure that you get, when you're buying baking soda or baking powder, make sure that you're getting it aluminum free, because some has aluminum in it. And that's what we're trying to eliminate by making our own deodorant. Then you would melt all the ingredients just over a little stove saucepan, and then mix them all together. Remove them from heat first, Let it cool down a little bit, just for like 5 minutes, and then you want to add your essential oil. So if you're adding the essential oil while something is hot and steaming, it can actually mess up a bit the properties of the oil, so their medicinal benefits are no longer going to be as potent, or they won't work as beneficially. So make sure that you do add any of your oils after it's been removed from the heat. So another version of deodorant would be to create a roller bottle. So this roller bottle would be like a 10 ml roller bottle, and it would just be 15 drops of citrus bliss, and then you add fractionated coconut oil to fill the bottle, and then you just roll it on, and sometimes I'll bring that with me. I've found a few different oils that I love to use as deodorant, so I'll mix this up a bit. I also made a paste, which is just coconut oil and baking soda, equal parts of both, and then adding like frankincense and tea tree oil to it. So whatever oils you want to use is totally up to you. Find something you love the smell of, but tea tree oil does help with odor, so that's always a helpful one to have in there. For the actual deodorant stick, once you have mixed everything together and you put those 10 drops of the oil in, the stick that you see in the picture here, you just sort of scoop out the mixture and just shove it in there. And then I like to put them in the freezer right after. And this probably makes 2 or 3, I'd say, deodorant sticks. And I just put them in the freezer afterwards. And then when I go to use it, I just actually turn on my tap and I just put a little bit of water on the top, and it helps to make it a little bit smoother when you're spreading it over. So those are my 2 deodorant recipes. Well, 3 if you count my paste recipe that I just kind of threw out there. And anyways, they're all amazing. And if you are used to a regular deodorant and you want to come to a homemade deodorant, just remember that your diet has a lot to do with how you are expelling toxins and what toxins you are expelling. So you'll notice that someone who is more of a really heavy meat eater, they'll have a different odor, let's say, than somebody who's much more whole foods or plant-based. So that's just something to note. And also that your body will start to change as you start using natural deodorants. I know at first for myself and many other people, it's like, I don't know if this is working, but your body chemistry sort of changes and goes with it. And now to this day, I can't even use purchase deodorant. They do not work on me anymore because I'm so used to using this deodorant. This is what my body is now used to, that this is now, I can't ever go back. So it's a good thing. All right, the next one is shampoo or body wash. So cast iron soap is, you'll see it in this picture here. You can buy it at any natural food store. I know a lot of, here in Hamilton, Fortino's carries it. And there's I think the Loblaws company, I believe some of their stores also carry cast iron soap. So it is just a vegetable-based soap. It does not foam. So that's one of the things that people sometimes have a bit of an issue with. They're like, okay, is this body wash working? Because there's no foam happening here. But it's not meant to. The lather that we see, the abundance of lather that we see in typical body washes and regular stuff we buy on the shelves, all that lather that we're seeing is actually chemically created. So when you're seeing a ton of lather, that's exactly what that is. That's just a chemical-based lather. So when sometimes we're moving on to this sort of stuff, that's the first question is, well, I don't really know if it's working. It is, don't you worry. You'll feel squeaky clean is the best way I can describe it, because you literally, if you feel your hair or your body, you're it literally squeaks. It's kind of cute. So you'd use a half of a container of Castile soap with a half of a container of filtered water. So that could be any kind of a container. Maybe you have an empty shampoo bottle that you want to try using. So just half and half, and then do about 5 drops of lavender, I'd say, for every cup of shampoo that you're doing. And a lot of people also like to include tea tree oil in there, which helps for, the times when our kids are going to school and they've got all the, people are sharing hats and we have the issues with all the bugs, and so we want to get over that and not think about that. So the tea tree oil is a really, really great one to pop in your shampoo also. Face moisturizer. So this is the one I was just talking about that I use, and it is, this is a picture of mine, and I just use a small jar, just fill it with that coconut oil, and then I put in 15 to 20 drops of frankincense, and you might even want to use lavender even along with it, just to make it smell a bit calming for evening if you want to. But frankincense is key when it comes to your skin and rejuvenation and health and everything that you want, like beauty of your skin. That is where the frankincense oil comes into play. It has been used for thousands of years by the ancient Egyptians. They knew what they were talking about. So frankincense is the way to go when you're looking at a face moisturizer. This is a favorite of mine in summertime. So it's a beach hairspray, and that is what your hair actually looks like. So once you've come out of the shower, you can either spray it on right after you've come out of the shower and just towel dried your hair, or even when it's dry, you can just flip your hair over and spray it as you would like a hairspray until it's a bit damp, and then kind of scrunch your hair and just let it air dry. So it's just 5 drops of rosemary, a tablespoon of Epsom salts, a teaspoon of fractionated coconut oil, and then fill the spray bottle with hot water. So I usually use just a spray bottle from the dollar store, to be honest with you. So it's just a plastic spray bottle. It's maybe a cup and a half of the water. And so yeah, so it's just about a cup, the size of a cup, or maybe 2 cups of water, and then add all that to it, shake it up, and you will have a lot left over. So you could just use it again. It doesn't even have to be hot when you spray it on your hair. It's just at the initial time to get the Epsom salts kind of dissolving. And then just make sure again that you shake it before you use it after. Now, mouth spray. This is another great one. I say that about all of them, though. I know I do. But it's true. It's because they're all amazing. So this one is just a 4-ounce glass spray bottle. The spray bottle that I actually have in a picture is, I think, a 2-ouncer, or a 1-ouncer actually. So you'd be looking for a 4-ounce glass spray for this specific recipe. And it's just 20 drops of peppermint, and then fill the rest with distilled water is preferred because it'll keep it fresher for longer. But if you don't have access to distilled water, then filtered water is okay too. And if you ever just want to freshen your breath, just spray a little bit in your mouth, or if you need some digestive support, same thing, spray it in your mouth. If you're outside in the summer and it's super hot, we love to spray it on our body, on the back of the neck. It's like an instant cooling sensation, which is awesome. I know some people who go through menopause and have a lot of hot flashes. They love to use this for that also. So it's just another way to kind of keep yourself cool. Now, these are a few ideas for makeup, and One Green Planet is a beautiful website, and this is where these recipes came from. So feel free to take a picture of these right here. Some of them don't include essential oils, but honestly, it's just so important that we are making great choices for our bodies and for lessening the toxins in our life. So I just wanted to add them anyways. But a foundation, you would just have 2 tablespoons of arrowroot powder, and then you would add whatever it is from the other side that you would like. So if you want a half teaspoon of turmeric to try and get the coloring correct, maybe you want to add a little bit of cocoa powder, add your 10 drops of essential oil. So for that foundation, again, I would probably use frankincense or maybe a lavender. And then you can add cinnamon and ginger also to that to help create that powdery bronzer sort of effect to your foundation. Then there's the mascara, so just using 2 teaspoons of aloe vera gel, and then 10 capsules of activated charcoal, or you can also buy activated charcoal just on its own. We've used that actually before brushing our teeth. You just put a bit on your toothbrush and kind of brush your teeth, and it helps to, take away anything that's sitting on your teeth and really give them like a shiny white glow. So just even like, I'd say about a half of a teaspoon maybe of the activated charcoal. And then a 1/4 teaspoon of bentonite clay. So all of these things you can buy online on Amazon. You can buy them for sure at any health food store, all 3 of those for the mascara. And then the empty mascara little tubes you can buy online as well. And then the do-it-yourself eyeshadow. So if you just have an empty eyeshadow holder that you're done with, you can always make your own. And so 1 tablespoon of arrowroot powder could go in with a 1/4 teaspoon of beetroot powder, or a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric, or a 1/4 teaspoon of spirulina. So each of these will give you a different color. Obviously, the beetroot would be more red, and the turmeric some yellow, and then spirulina would be green. And you can mix and match these and make your own colors and just make it really fun. So that is it for the webinar on do-it-yourself products. But if you want the recipe download, so I have this as an ebook. I also have an amazing ebook on making your own cleaning products, as well as essential oils and smoothies and essential oils and ice cream, which would blow your mind. So you can get all of those at my website, peaceloveandpeppermint.com/recipe download. And if there is anybody out there who is watching right now who does want to learn more about essential oils and has not grabbed their own doTERRA membership yet and are looking for a mentor to help get you started, then please send me an email or contact me through my website, and I would be more than happy to help. So thank you guys so much for joining, and I hope you have a great night.